Yo, 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 YouTube, welcome back to another video. Today, we're talking about the number 2 team in college football, but the number 1 team in the recruiting rankings right now, and that's the Ohio State Buckeyes. And before we get things started, be sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're going to have recruiting videos coming out almost every day up until signing day. So be sure you hit that bell icon so you don't miss a single video. And with that being said, let's get into it. So yeah, Ohio State, number 1 class. And you look at the top of this class, headlined by Devin Sanchez, Tavian St. Clair, two big-time talents. St. Clair, number 2 quarterback in the composite. It was a big-time get for them, keeping him in Ohio. His recruitment, it went kind of fast. It was very fluid. I mean, he committed back in June, and he had 25 offers. He really didn't take any other visits. I mean, it was really just Ohio State. Like I said, they did a really good job of getting on him early and not letting any other team get any momentum. That was huge. Devin Sanchez, once again, got on him early. They went into Texas to get the number 1 corner in the class, and they're pairing him with Naheem Alford. We'll get to him in a little bit. Yeah, right now they have the number 1, number 3 corner. Personally, I think Alford's the number 2 corner. I think they have DJ Pickett, who's committed to LSU. I think they have him at number 2. I mean, Alford has a say to be number 1 when you run the tape. He's right there with Sanchez. Yeah, I think they got the top 2 corners committed right now. And then you look at linebacker. You got Riley Pettyjohn, who was once a higher committed player. I mean, he was once a 5-star as well. And you're pairing him at linebacker with Tarvos Alford. We'll get to him later on in the video as well. I mean, you're going down to Florida to get the number 9 linebacker. Personally, I think he's better than that. And then Riley Pettyjohn, number 2 linebacker from Texas. So they're going all over the place. They get these guys. And that's one of the better linebacker duos in this recruiting class. And yeah, Ohio State, they're going to get wide receivers. Quincy Porter from New Jersey, the number 9 receiver. And then you got Phillip Bell from California, the 25th receiver. And yeah, other than that, they haven't really gone after some of the top receivers. DeCorian Moore was one that they went after. They missed out on him. Jamie French, who committed to Texas. Yeah, they kind of missed with the top guys. But I think the way they see it is we'll take some guys that we feel good about. And then if our guys don't pan out, we can just hit the portal, maybe for one guy. And then you look at Ohio State's roster right now. Next year, it's going to be Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis, and Jeremiah Smith. So, I mean, there's not really much to worry about. Yeah, it's just kind of unusual to not see Ohio State have a receiver up in like their top 5, top 6 players. On the D-line, they went and got Zion Grady, a one-time Alabama commit. When Saban left, he also decommitted. And yeah, he was at one point a 5-star player. He was a lot higher ranked at one point. So you know what kind of player you're getting. Like, I mean, at one point he was a 6th player, 14th, 20th, 18 again. Then he kind of dropped as the season went on. So you know you're getting a good player overall. You know you're getting a special player. And you're pairing him on the edge with Zaire Mathis from Pennsylvania, who committed all the way back in January. And he's the 5th edge. So they're getting the guys on the D-line. London Merritt from IMG Academy in Florida. Jarquez Carter, Maxwell Roy, Trajan Odom. We'll get to him later on in the video as well. And they're building this front 7 very well in this class. Very well in this class. They also got one of the better tight ends in Nate Roberts. When you watch the tape, this is an ideal college tight end. Think of like Cade Stover. Remember Cade Stover from Ohio State? But now the challenge is to keep those guys committed, right? And that's what we're going to talk about right here. We got Naheem Alford. Now this is a recruitment that I think it could go to the second signing day, but I really think that depends on where he goes. As you can see, Oregon and Auburn are pushing. They're cool. And I'll tell you what, Auburn, is watching some videos on their insiders and reading what they say, and also what Naheem Alford has said, like on his social media and stuff, about Auburn. Auburn feels really good. They're more confident that they can pull this off than any other flip they're going after right now. Now, I don't know how much of that is true, and that might just be Auburn just confidence inside their building or not, but it is legit. I mean, they do have a prediction, so I think that says something. But also Oregon, right? He went out there for the Ohio State game. He watched Oregon beat Ohio State, and nonetheless, they're going to be in it till the end too. So you got two teams fighting for Ohio State's 5-star commit. But also the interesting thing you can see, November 15th, this Saturday, well, Friday through Sunday, he's going to be taking a visit to Florida with multiple other 5-stars. Now, I don't think Florida's a legit candidate, but I will say I think it's interesting that he is visiting these other schools, but he has yet to make it up to Ohio State. He has said, I think, 2 games in the fall he said he was going to attend, and he never ended up making it. The general assumption is he will make it to the Ohio State-Michigan game, and if that visit happens, you have to like where Ohio State stands. Now, if that visit doesn't happen, and for some reason he visits Alabama, Auburn, or heck, Oregon for their last game against Washington, I don't know where the Auburn-Alabama game is at, but regardless, he can go and watch whatever team, right? I mean, he's from Alabama, and Alabama's still in this too. They're just not in like that top 3, top 4. Yeah, if he goes to Ohio State, Michigan, I'd say he's a lock. If not, if he goes to one of these other schools, I would be nervous. I just want to see when this prediction came in from Tom Loy. So he made this back in August. Okay, so that's not a recent prediction, but nonetheless, something to keep an eye on. Now, Trajan Odom is another guy who hasn't really said much. There is confidence around Ohio State. They'll keep a hold of him. And USC being the biggest contender, I think Ohio State fans and Ohio State coaches, I think they feel pretty good about that, right? I mean, they can kind of negatively recruit USC saying, like, they're not having a good season. Also, USC is losing a lot of guys right now. A lot of guys are flipping from USC. So Ohio State has that going for them. And Oregon's the other contender. I really think it's going to come down to Oregon and Ohio State for him. Yeah, I think Ohio State sits in a pretty good spot. Now this one, Tarvos Alford, this is probably the most concerning recruit if I'm an Ohio State fan. The chances of holding on to him are probably 50-50 right now with Miami. Mario Cristobal, he's had this kid on campus multiple times this fall, and apparently he's trying to get back on campus for the final game of the season at home. And if that visit happens, Ohio State probably loses a little bit of confidence, you'd have to assume. And Miami, I mean, they're relentless. Miami's goal is probably to take this to, the second signing day? But if he signs on December 4th and he doesn't get back to Ohio State, he's probably going to be a hurricane. So yeah, this is probably the most concerning commit that Ohio State's trying to keep a hold of. And then Quincy Porter. I mean, Penn State's the only competition for him. And this is a kid with 37 offers, right? We're talking Ohio State doesn't have that 5-star wide receiver. Well, Quincy Porter's the 58th player, 9th receiver. So this is a very good player. And Penn State's doing all they can. He just took a visit for the Washington game, the whiteout, and everything I'm hearing and seeing, Penn State hit it out the park. And yeah, I think Ohio State's a little nervous about this one as well. But like I said with the other guys, all Ohio State has to do is get these guys on campus for the Michigan game. You beat Michigan, they sign the following week. Story over, right? That's the challenging part. You have to convince these kids to go on a visit to your place and not, say, Penn State or whoever they're playing. All right, next, let's just take a look at some of their top targets. Malik Autry, I mean, I think it's pretty set in stone. He'll stay down south. Auburn's done a good job with him. Now, Jakeem Stewart, this is one, like we talked about in the USC video and Alabama video. Ohio State is at worst number 2 in this. I think it's safe to say Ohio State and Oregon are at the top. But then LSU, they're the hometown team. So they kind of get a boost, you know. He did take a visit there. But, I mean, this is a big-time talent. Big-time talent. Ohio State already has a ton of D linemen committed. So I think that is one negative for them. Other than that, they got him on campus, and they're assuming he'll be back for the Michigan game. Last game of the season. And next weekend, he's visiting Oregon, and that's after his USC visit this weekend. So it's USC, and then Oregon next week, and then Ohio State. And the assumption is he's going to sign on December 4th and enroll at the beginning of January. If I had to put money on it right now, like I said, I think it's 50-50 between the Ducks and the Buckeyes. And then Nathaniel Owusu-Boateng. Michigan has a prediction. That prediction just came in a couple days ago. Tom Loy put that in. Yeah, it was actually yesterday. I mean, we already looked at their class. They have a lot of guys in that front seven, a lot of versatile players. That's not really a position of need, I'd say. And other than that, I don't think there was anyone else that really stood out. And yeah, because Ohio State, they pretty much have their class set in stone. They're number one, and I think their points was at like 305, 304. And that's a pretty freaking good class for a number one class. That is a really good class. And yeah, we already looked at some of the guys they're going after. Biggest thing, you just got to keep Alford. You got to keep Odom. And where's he at? You got to keep Alford, right? Probably 3 guys and Porter at receiver. So 4 guys. You got to keep 4 guys committed. If you do that, you're probably going to be sitting at number 1 until the second signing day, depending on what other teams do at the top. So Ohio State fans, let me know down below your thoughts on your recruiting class and how things are shaping up for the Buckeyes. Let me know your thoughts also on Nyheim Alford. What do you think about that recruitment? And who your favorite recruit is in your class. Be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you on the next video.